The new 21 Pilots album Breach is out this Friday, so this week I'm going back through their entire discography, reviewing all their albums front to back, and we are now onto their most popular album, 2015's Blurryface. This album is the definition of a mixed bag. 50% of this album is catchy, fun pop tracks that actually stand out among an era of songs that all sound kind of the same throughout like the mid-2010s. And the other 50% of it has just aged poorly. A lot of the trends that some of the tracks hop on this album have just gone incredibly stale 10 years down the line, and they just do not hold up in my opinion. You get certain tracks like Heavy Dirty Soul, Doubt, or Message Man that can be genuinely punchy, dark, gritty pop songs. Fun production, some clever writing besides some of the bars on Heavy Dirty Soul that are fucking terrible, and also just fun playing with genres, working in alt-rock, mixing in hip-hop, a little bit of dubstep. And then you get a song like The Judge that is just so paper-thin writing-wise, is so tacky performance-wise. It feels like a song that is trying to appeal to the broadest audience possible, and unfortunately feels like it's shrinking its audience down to just the smallest demographic of very edgy teenagers. And I don't mean that to offend anyone who's a fan of that song, because I'm gonna be honest, I was a fan of the song for a very long time. To mention what I spoke about just a second ago, the writing on a lot of these songs is pretty piss poor, particularly a song like Lane Boy. Like, you get standout lines on that track, like "I wasn't raised in the hood, but I know a thing or two about pain and darkness," and I hear that and I'm like, who the fuck approved that and let that onto this album? That's one of the worst lines in music history. This is where we start to see the beginning of the lore, though, where like some of the lines in the song get rearranged to be the vicious names like Choke on Smoke and Heavy Dirty Soul, or Sakava and Tear in My Heart. And I do think the subtle hints at the world building are actually kind of nice here. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't really feel like when this album was created, they had the lore in mind. It kind of just feels like halfway through the actual like era, Tyler Joseph had the idea, and it kind of got to the point where he made the Heavy Dirty Soul music video as a kind of tester, and then it went well and he was like, okay, now let's run with this, and he kind of took elements from this album and put it into the lore. That's what it feels like to me. And honestly, I will say the lore definitely does improve this album a decent bit, kind of looking through here and seeing which elements get added to later albums, which lyrical themes kind of tie into the story, is actually fun and does make this a much more rewarding experience than if it were not to be lore related. So yeah, I do think that helps this album a decent bit, but all in all, I will say this is an enjoyable enough album, but I wouldn't quite say it's good. There's enough here for me to say it's, just a very mixed experience. I'm feeling a 5.8 out of 10 on this album. It's okay. It's not the band's best. It's not the band's worst. I just think this album is a little inconsistent, and I wish it went a little bit heavier on the darkness.